So, I am going to talk about the power to make money. And I can feel there's some information that wants to get through. I have no idea what it is, so it's going to be very exciting. I can just feel it's like hovering, hovering, hovering. Hi, Hulda. So make sure that you ask your questions to help me bring it through. All right, there's nothing like questions to bring in new information and open somebody's channel to what needs to come through. So I'm very, very excited about what it is that's going to come through. So, okay, so just I wanted to start with like bottom line, bottom line, bottom line. Hi, Anya. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Kaltuba. And whoever else is here. It's just bottom line. It's like baseline, default. This is where we start when we talk about the power to make money. And that is that you were born with the power to make as much money as you want. One of the things about the power to make money, and I probably shared this somewhere else, but it really bears repeating, that somebody wants you to not have access to your power to make money. And I'm not saying it is specific somebody, but it exists as a concept in your mind that says, this is a bad idea for me to own my power to have money because somebody is not going to like it. Okay, so the thing about the power to make money is that you were born with it. Or it's like I don't know what I've said, you know, what you heard. So I'm going to repeat it. So you're born with the power to make money. It's like bottom line. Somewhere, somebody has had an invested interest in you not owning your power to make money. And you kind of bought into that. It's like you have been brainwashed to believe you don't have the power to make money because it serves somebody else. And I'm not saying it's anybody particular. It's more that a concept that exists in your shadow consciousness, that it's just a really, 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 really bad idea to actually own your power to make money. So, and they have convinced you, you know, the they that nobody really knows who are, but it's floating around in our consciousness, that we should be very careful to not antagonize they or them. So I mean, this goes back to survival consciousness, right? It's like we need the approval to survive, but it still exists that somewhere you got convinced that you're much better off not owning your power to make money than actually owning it. So so I want you to really, really try to just sit with this idea. Somebody has or had an invested interest in you not owning your power to make money. And because you feared for your life, you chose to go ahead with that. But it's not true. It's not true. And I really want you to see that it is not you. It is not you that doesn't have the power to make money. It is not you, not dash you. And so the whole thing then comes back to, you actually already have the power to make money. So this is the shift, you know, this is part of the shadow alchemy shift, right? Like I'm switching it around to just like kind of like being hyper-focused on the shadow. Is actually about coming back to, you are the light archetypes, you are the power archetypes, you are the lover, the sovereign, the warrior, the magician. Hi, Hannah. And because you are that, you already know, listen to this, you already know how to make a lot of money. You already know it. you are coded with the power, the ability, the potential to make a shit ton of money in a very short time. You have those codes, right? They're right there, they're in you. So shadow comes in and serves as a distraction because, you know, it's dangerous to own that power for whatever reason that exists in your consciousness. But the power to make money is not something you have to go out and learn. It's not something you have to go out and find because you actually already have it. And that's one of the points I want to make today is like, you already have that power. It is already there in you. So it's not even that you have to alchemize a ton of shadow to actually get in touch with it. You just have to let yourself not be distracted by what shadow says, you know, and obviously you still have to alchemize your shadow so that, you know, you clean your codes, because your money codes, they need to be clean also, but you can always flip into your power to make a shit ton of money in an amazingly short time. This is good shit. Yeah, this is good shit. So what I see that is always coming up is, you know, trying so hard, you know, taking all the actions, but there's no money results coming. And this is because somewhere, somewhen, you don't dare to own your power to make money. Because, you know, shadow tells you it's a bad idea, right? Like shadow distracts you. Shadow distracts you from what actually is. So if you bring it all the way back and say, you know, I do know how to make a lot of money. I actually do know. I might not know consciously, you know, it hasn't popped into my, you know, my mind yet, you know, my conscious awareness yet, but I do know how to do it. I have those codes in me. I have the money codes in me. I have everything in me to make a shit ton of money. And you know, it sounds like typical affirmation and LOA stuff, but it's really about, yes, you know, what they say is right, but what you have to do, or what you have to make is a distinction. You really have to see yourself as not shadow. This is where it all starts, as not shadow. This is not who you are. So I want you to come back, you know, because this is about the power to make money. It's like you need to take your eyes off shadow and then come in and say, okay, as a lover, sovereign, warrior, magician today, right now, where is my power to make money, and how do I access that power to make money? How do I activate that power to make money? How do I bring it out of my system and into the light grid? Because your codes, your money codes in you, they go out on the light grid and connect to, you know, your clients, you know, and the things you want to, like everything that has to do with money already exists on the light grid, right? So you need to activate the codes of your money that are already in you. They're already in you. They had always been in you, right? And it's like shadow makes you forget about them. It's like you need to send them out into the world. And part of that is by not being super active, by actually being very, very still. And for those of you who watch the Money Warrior series, the stillness is the power. The force is like trying so hard to make something happen. That's the shadow. But when you come into the light power archetypes, it's a place of incredible stillness and calm. And from this place, your codes will go out into the world automatically. You don't actually have to do a whole lot because you radiate power. Let me just answer this here. When there's so much victim shadow, the warrior doesn't want to take actions. Does seeing the genius frequency and the value of it have to move the warrior and ignite the fire? Because at this point, it's about to create money coded with a specific energy, integrity, pleasure. Self-love. I'm not sure I quite understand you. So when there's a lot of victim shadow, right? It's like part of the victim shadow is I don't have the power to make money. It's like a huge part of the victim shadow. And when you tap into the shadow, also your energy goes extremely passive. I'm not saying you go passive because you can take a million actions, but your energy becomes passive when you're in the victim shadow. And so coming into the light archetypes, your actions become still, but your energy becomes active. So it's like flipping it around, like whereas when you're in shadow, you can hustle and, you know, do a million things, but because your energy is passive, nothing is happening. And it's passive because you actually don't believe that, you know, you have the power to make money, so you're not even tapping into it. Switching it around to take less action, they're going to have to be energetically precise, then your energy becomes active, and that's what generates sales. It's always your active energy in the form of codes that goes out into the world that generates the sales. And the actions you take is what is like the vehicle by which those codes travel into the world. What I'm realizing, and you know what I have been realizing with Sonica also, is that you have clues as to what your genius codes are. Your genius has the most potent codes, the most powerful codes of any codes when it comes to creating business and creating money. Those are not the only ones, right? Because your gifts, your light gifts, they are a reflection of your genius. They are a piece of your genius, and it might not have the same potency because it's in the light. The dark is way more powerful, but it still carries the codes. And those are, again, the most potent codes. So let me just sit here for a second, because this is really important that I answer this true. So you have to see the value in you before you see the value in what you do, and before you see the value in what your clients get from you. So the value starts here, and it's as you one of the things that you talk about in, you know, when you go dark, is that you are both worthless and priceless. So it's like a piece of art, right? It can be priceless to one person, and to another person, it can be absolutely worthless. So you have to come in and decide that who you are right now is an amazing piece of art. I think I'm going to do a live stream also on business as art. I already did one, but I think I have some more to add to it. And this is the most exquisite piece of art that is just who you are, and therefore it's priceless to your clients and to people around you, and worthless to the rest of the world. So the pricelessness, to knowing that you are priceless and that your gifts, and you might not even know what your gifts are, because this is what shadow does, right? It like blurs your sight so you can't see clear. You might not know what your gifts are, and the gifts are like drops of your genius. And that's where the activation, no, activation is not the right word. It is what initiates the streaming of the money codes out into the light grid, out into the 3D world. So, so knowing the pricelessness of you which is now we're in the lover archetype, right? Knowing the pricelessness of you is what sends out the pure codes, because the lover is all about worth and value and desire, right? So that starts sending out the money codes to stream them out. It just happened for me, just like a week or 10 days ago, with my split from the Lux Godhead, that I actually could finally land in my genius, and it was completely unimaginable. It was horrifyingly big. I'm still kind of scared of it. And I also had like my gifts and the things I've been doing and the things that matter to you are all like drops of my genius that is coming into my life, and to show you, to show me, okay, this is who I am, this is what it's about. And even that part is just priceless. So knowing that value, right, it comes into the lover, which is where it all starts. This is where it's seated. And your pure desire is shadow free. And that purity is what makes your money codes like free of shadows. So when they go out into the world, it's very easy to get money back. So how do you activate? Okay, because yeah. So what it is not, okay, so coming back to your question, does seeing the genius frequency and the value of it help to move the warrior and ignite the fire? It's not the value of the genius frequency, it's it's the value of you. It's the value of you, the pricelessness of you. This is where it comes back to. And since you are the one who has the power to make money, it better start with you. Not your genius, but you, because how it is in the dark, you serve your genius. Okay. How do we activate this code really? Yes, it feels like a fog disappearing. It's like once I've alchemized a big shadow, it's like, oh, I can see clearly now, right? Your power to make money, I mean, it's still the warrior energy, because money is energy that needs to be turned into matter, as in the physical money, or the physical digital money. When you do a bank transfer, there's actually no cash that you can hold to, but it's just, numbers. That still, there still need to be part of it, like moving matter around, which is what the warrior does, as part of converting energy into matter, which is what it makes how money is made. But it's seeded. It's like the lover is the instigational channel. It's like where everything starts with the desire. And because the lover is about worth and value, it's also where the money is. So this is where it's seated. But if the sovereign doesn't, come in and grabs it, hey, I am going to do this, I am going to make it happen. I have the power to make money. So am I going to do it, or am I going to let myself be distracted by shadow? I have known, for 25 years that making money is actually a state of being. And it's a decision you make, right? So because there were months back when I would just make a ton of money, and it was very obvious, I just made the decision, and I was in a different state of being than the times when I struggled to, barely survive. I was like just very, very different state of being. And with that different state of being, it just became a decision I made. But it was not a decision with my mind. It was not a decision with my mind. Once you're in the light archetypes, there's no need to think about money. There's no need to figure out how to get money. There's no need to worry about money, because when you're in the light archetypes, you are in your power to make money, and it's just who you are. It's just who you are. It's a state of being, and making money is just a decision you make. It can just be as simple as like, I think I want to make like 20,000 this month. Yeah, Sounds like a great idea. 20,000 it is. I mean, it can be as simple as that, to make a decision, get your desire, get your value, and then the sovereign says, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then it rolls from there. It doesn't have to be this big, intense, dramatic thing, because once you are in the light archetypes, it really is that simple. So so let me know if you have any questions. I'm not seeing anything here. So your job, right, is like you have the power to make money. When your money codes are pure and they just stream out into your world, your job then is to keep the money codes pure. And it's like as soon as you fall into worrying and getting afraid and trying to figure out how, it's like you begin to clobber shadows onto the money codes. And then what happens, rather than streaming out with sharply precise, it's like they have to be extremely precise. Sharply precise, what's the word that came, or the phrase I came up with. It's like as soon as there's a shadow around them, right, they lose their sharpness, they get diffuse, and they lose their potency. So when you are in your innate power to make money, the codes that stream out of you by no effort of your own, they goes really fast, and they are really, really, really sharply precise. And that's why you get results from them. And shadow comes in, you let yourself get distracted by shadow, or you have a shadow construct that you need to disentangle or alchemize. Because the point you want to get to always, always, always is that your codes are pure. What, how, when, with who. And Kaltuma, part of this is what I channel in my Genius Business Activations. Part of it is just whatever you're doing or saying right now, is it precise? Is the energy in it pure? Is the energy in it clean? That's really all you need to concern yourself about, because it will reach the right persons, the ones who are called. So your codes do not necessarily travel the same path as your Facebook post or your marketing. It is more that that's your launching pad for your codes, right? It's like they're streaming, but it's also the launching pad. It's like somehow both are true, even if they can't both be true at the same time. And that launching pad is just where it goes further out into the universe. So there's less a need to focus on what, how, when, and with, and who, except maybe in the very beginning of your business when you don't really know what you're doing. And even then, it's like, okay, does it feel energetically precise? And this is something we can all do, right? We all can recognize that precision. And we all respond to it. We can all recognize it. So you can certainly recognize it in everything you put out there. It's like shadow will try to tell you that you can, but you can. Yeah, exactly. Worried for the need to make money that has marked the money coach. Yes. So I'm just saying there's something else that wants to come through about the power to make money. The power to make money is in your body. It's not in your mind. And this is also what I have experienced. Like, I can't make any money with my mind, but I can make money with my body. So I need to bring the energy down, down, down. I need to bring my awareness, I need to bring my consciousness down into my body, because the body is what moves. Matter is fun. So if you find yourself thinking about body, you just know that. No, thinking about making money. If you're thinking about making money, you're not making it, which is really tricky. And it's also true. And if you feel yourself worried about money because worrying is up in your mind, you're also not making it, because you got to bring it down in your body. And then and it's like, you know how when you're all in your mind, you're all shadowy, you feel powerless, you feel helpless. And when you come really down in your body, you have the power. This is where your power is. This is where your strength is, right? So I need you to come down into your body, which is where your power to make money is. And once you're down in your body, you're just moving and taking actions and not spending so much of your time and energy just worrying and thinking and trying to figure out. I was a master at trying to figure out where to get money from. So it needs to come down in your body. One of the things I have been seeing is that is that you recognize when you are in the right place. Because once you get in this place, there is no concern about money. There's a desire for money, but no concern. It's just, yeah, I want it, and therefore you'll do the actions that's going to make it, but there's no concern. It's like you're not concerned about it. You certainly desire it, you certainly value it, but there's no concern around it. And if you find yourself, worried, whatever, thinking about money, trying to figure it out, just come down into your body again. Come all the way down into your body and start moving in the world, even if it's just typing out another post or whatever. But the power that comes into your marketing or your sales calls or whatever, when you're coming from your body, is way more potent. It's way more impactful than when you're just a talking head, right? A talking head is a talking head. It's empty. It has no presence. It has no power. It's just a talking head. So you need to come into your body and your money codes are awakened. They're seated in your body, not your mind. They're in your body. And it's like, if you are in your mind, you are disconnected from your money codes and they're actually not getting activated. So to activate these codes, it's like Hulda, you were asking, it's like, how do you activate your money codes? You come into your body, because that's where they live. This is where they reside. And if you get into thinking about this all, it's like you're just cut off from your body. So as much as you want to activate them, you can't, because you're disconnected from your body. So it's like, again, when you come down and do your business from your body, it's the picture I get is like almost like a huge bulldozer that just kind of like moves through the world with this like immense power, and whatever, converts things into money. But there's this unstoppable, immense power. It's unshakable, it's unstoppable, that just keeps moving. And it's not necessarily rushing, right? Because there's power in the slowness, in the stillness. As the mind goes really, really fast, money likes it slow. So, if you want to take anything out of this, slow down to make money. Slow a whole lot down to make a lot more money. And that is especially true when you come into the dark, because then you have to be extremely still in order to make money, because the more still you are in the dark, the more powerful you are. So, and shadow wants you to speed up more and more and more and more out of worry and anxiety, right? So you're going to do the opposite. You have to slow down and come to a complete still point. And the more you can stay still, the more massively powerful, inexorably, this wave of your money codes that are going to move into the world and, activate clients to come to you, and, client, customers, however you get the money, they're going to come to you. So the more you slow down, the faster you make money. How is that for a takeaway? The more you slow down, the faster you make more money. So you do already have the power to make money, right? So how much did you make last year? Like just say you made 50,000 last year. So it's not that you can't make 50,000, right? It's like, can you make it in a shorter time? Because you're already proven you can make 50,000. And you have probably made 50,000 many times over your lifetime. So it's not that you can't make money. It's, can you make it in a shorter time? And so then, it's like, how much shorter time can you then make the same amount of money? And this is where the brain stutters, right? This is where you go into the saboteur, but, or, when all the shadow comes up. So the key here is, can you use your power to make money to also make money in a shorter time? Because this is really what we're looking at, except for people who are just actually beginning their business maybe and haven't really experienced. Doesn't matter. You have made money in your life. You totally have the power to make money. And I just said it again, Anya. I wish I had a pound for every time I say you have the power to make money. You do. It's like everything else is total bullshit, right? You have it. I mean, you have already made money. So how can you not have power? How can you think you don't have the power to make money when you have made it so many times over? Yeah. Energetically slow down a lot. Eva asks, slowing down, do you mean just sit and take time to slow down physically and in the mind? Yeah. And energetically and emotionally slow down. Make that 10K for every time I say it. Yes. That's it. Why not? Yes. So slowing down, it is more like coming into the stillness of a storm, like the still center of a hurricane, like things are happening around you. And part of these things that are happening around you is like you are out there moving matter in the 3D world so that you can convert, energy into money matter. But so it's more like a stillness that's a state of being. There's no sense of rushing. There's no sense of, I have to figure it out. It's like calming your thoughts. Yes. I mean, it's like when you're doing meditation or yoga, right? You just come to a very still place when you're in deep relaxation. So it's that still place. And it doesn't mean that you're not trying, to work on your marketing or doing the things that needs to be done, because you still need to take actions. You still need to move matter. But when it comes from this like super grounded still place, there is like this the picture I'm seeing is like this massive mudslide. It's kind of like very slow rushing, it's not like zoom. I mean, a mudslide can go fast, maybe an earth slide, right? It's kind of like moving, and maybe not moving really fast, but there's also no stopping it whatsoever. And that's how it becomes when you come to this still place and in your body, which is where your money codes are activated. Yeah, in the eye of the storm. Yeah. So this is, Anya, you have the power to make money, right? And this is where it is, in the stillness. In the stillness. You can't force money to come to you. This force is all shadow, and which is what we go into when we go into the fear of it. But you have the power to become magnetic to money. And you become magnetic when you stand still. Now, if you think about the difference between electricity and magnetism, right? Electricity moves, magnetism is stillness. So here in the light grid and the 3D world, it is about becoming magnetic to money. And that's when it comes. And the more you stay still, and the more you, the more you stay still, the more you're in your body, the more you alchemize your shadow, the more magnetic you become. And then that magnetism, is then further enhanced by the precision, to carry these sharply precise codes. But that is, maybe more about your sending out the codes themselves. Does physical activity, exercise, actually help to embody the state? Anything that helps you get into your body, sure, it helps. For me, it is more like just, feeling my body, feeling the weight of my body, feeling my feet on the ground. This is kind of enough to get me back into my body when I get up in my head. So there's still something I haven't said yet. I'm just trying to figure out what that is. There's something about shadow as a distraction, as a false construct. So the trick here is to not be lured by the addictive emotional intensity of the shadow, because then you lose the stillness, right? It's like as soon as you're in shadow, you have lost the stillness, and the still, like the emotional intensity and drama of shadow is not very magnetic. And instead of the codes going out into the world from your stillness, they're just spinning around, not really going anywhere, like just sipping. They're not going out into the world, and they're also getting clobbered with shadow. So shadow is always recognized by emotional intensity and drama, except for the saboteur, which then goes numb, emotionally numb and dull and heavy. But that's what we are addicted to. This is what we have been habituated to think of as our norm. So in that way, like coming into the stillness in your body, it feels wonderful, yes, and it's also going to feel, like a fight for your life. But this is where you are. It sounds like any light work out there. Anyway, there is like this. I mean, if you want to make money, this is where your power to make money is. Go into the dark cold sea is your way. Yeah, there's many ways of doing it, but you got to come in here and stay there, right? That's a challenge. Remember, the power to make money is a state of being. It's a state of being that you already have. You already are that state of being. But then you let yourself become distracted by shadow, and then you forget that you're already this, and you go spinning off into all this world. And one of these illusions is that you don't have the power to make money. So yes, it's not going to be that simple. You're still going to alchemize the shadow, because the shadow is going to fight for its own existence. And also the other thing is, like Sonic has said something, is like shadow is invested in you being a loser. Shadow doesn't want you to be a winner in life. So think of shadow as almost like an entity of its own, that is fighting with you who gets to control you and your life. So I often felt like, I was in a battle for my life, like who is going to win my life? Is it going to be shadow? Is it going to be me? And, once I get it, it's like, hey, it's my life. I'm not going to let shadow run my life. I want to live my life. It's just such an interesting way to see it, right? Because then you can actually suddenly see that shadow is not you. It's just something that has been, you have been brainwashed to believe that shadow is you, but it never is. So when a shadow is activated, by all means alchemize it. If it's not activated, come into a still point in your body. And from there, it's actually a whole lot easier to hear your intuition also, which is going to tell you to take the next step. So from there, you go into then your actions automatically become energetically precise, is what I want to say. And that means your money codes are sharply precise also. That's where you have the power to make money. It's almost, when I talk about how you have to come into your body which is where your power to make money is like if you think about it, like the power to make money is in your feet, because they are the ones that are walking to change, to change matter into money matter. They are walking the talk. Never thought about that before, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nothing else wants to come true.